Hi everybody, this is Stephen Osborne here with Aftermatch Wrestling, and I am finishing the program of Raw for this week. I'm finally on the main event, and it's just past the part where the security guy confiscates the beach ball that's out in the crowd, and the crowd starts cheering that he is an asshole and is getting really pissed off about the beach ball. And I just want to say that I think in this case, I don't know who's right, the crowd or the other part of the crowd that's trying to enjoy the match, or it doesn't really matter. WWE has completely shot themselves in the foot with this kind of booking. And by that I mean in the Barclays Center, 4 nights in a row, wrestling. NXT, the pay-per-view that's fucking, 7 hours long, if you get there for the pre-show. And then Monday Night Raw, and then SmackDown. Oh God, I'm dreading watching SmackDown just about, because of how beyond bored the crowd is going to be. At this point, NXT stole the show. I watched that before I watched SummerSlam, and by far, NXT was a great show. That TakeOver show was incredible. I enjoyed it. Mostly because I wasn't spoiled. I didn't get spoiled by any of the matches on Facebook before I watched it. So, that was nice. But NXT stole the show. And after that, you've got a crowd, and I'm willing to bet, more than half of the crowd is going to all 4 shows in a row. He took 2 days off of work, and they went to NXT, they went to SummerSlam, they went to Raw, and they went to SmackDown. And by the 4th show, God, they're going to be bored as shit. But this is the 3rd show I'm watching, Raw, and they're bored enough to be, entranced by a beach ball. And it's completely detracting from the matches. And, sometimes when you watch these shows, you kind of depend on the crowd. The crowd adds a little extra level of drama or excitement or hilarity sometimes that, let's say, the background music to a good movie can do. When that music starts getting really odd and shrieky in a horror movie, something crazy is about to happen, or something scary, or something like that. The crowd in a WWE event is just as important to me, I think, in a show as, let's say, the entrances or Michael Cole. It's not as important as the match itself, but it helps. It really sets. Anyway, I'm getting off the point here. They've done all these shows in a row, and they really should not have done that. They should have had the NXT event at an arena in Brooklyn or in New York or wherever that was smaller, but somewhere else. Done SummerSlam at the Barclays Center if they intended to do that, and then have Raw in some other part of New York, some other borough. Have it in on Long Island. I don't know. I don't know New York boroughs, but anyway, have it somewhere else. And by the time Tuesday rolls around, all those superstars can get a couple states away. All the shit can get a couple states away. Or they've got more than one set up the other set. The SmackDown set. I'm pretty sure SmackDown's probably going to come out to the Raw set. Like every show has had the Raw set, but again, I haven't watched SmackDown yet, but they need to put them in different venues. They need to have a crowd that is not bored by 4 days of wrestling in a row, basically. And what you've got at the end of Raw is a crowd that's been bored by 3 complete days of wrestling in a row. And I really hope SmackDown crowd is either more interested or SmackDown itself is more interesting, so that the beach ball doesn't get, like, it's really weird to watch a match where the crowd starts cheering for something, and when nothing in the ring is going on, that, like, the face isn't going up to the top rope or something like that, and you hear all that cheering and you think, oh, well, somebody's coming out. Well, nobody comes out. And then you hear it again and you're like, well, what's going on? And then it takes WWE, I guess in this case 20-30 minutes before they finally decide to show a video camera at the beach ball and acknowledge that the beach ball is going on. And it took basically John Cena in the ring forcing the issue. But that's just my thoughts on it. It's overkill, complete overkill. 4 events, 4 days in a row in the same arena. It's complete overkill. And if the ratings take a plummet for Raw and SmackDown this week, in part because of the crowd, they did it to themselves. They completely did it to themselves. And I hope they learn a lesson from this. And I hope when WrestleMania comes around, well, you don't really have to worry about WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is usually in a stadium, like a football stadium. And therefore, the Monday Night Raw after it is free to be in the local arena. And it's not necessary. And that's the fun one. That's the crowd that's not excited by the beach ball. The crowd that's excited by both themselves and everything that's going on, because they are diehard fans. You took a crowd of, let's say, 70 to 80,000 people in a stadium, or to over 100, depending on what stadium. But you take that gigantic of a crowd and you whittle it down to the 30 or 40% of that crowd that is superbly diehard. They didn't just come for WrestleMania because it's the spectacle. They came for the wrestling, and they get to watch Raw because they're already there. And they, you know, some of these people have flown from all across the globe just to see WrestleMania. And so you get this crowd that is just both eclectic and diehard. They are a great crowd. But for SummerSlam, I hope they've learned their lesson, and they don't do these shows, 4 shows in a row in the same arena. Stupid. Stupid. Anyway, that's basically all I wanted to say. Other than that, I hope that Ric Flair gets better. I really do. And that kind of threw me over the last week. That I didn't know that he was in bad health. But Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, those would be the 2 that I really grew up really getting into wrestling because of. And I'd hate to see Ric Flair go this early. Like, it's not his time. Anyway, I'm Stephen Osborne with Aftermatch Wrestling, and please talk to me about wrestling. Leave any questions or comments in the comments section. I'll try to get back to you. Bye, guys.